welcome back to another video at D.S.R, and today I am riding the Yamaha MT-07. Again, thank you very much to Branson's Motorcycles of Yeovil for lending me this MT-07. As you can see, it's got a bit of crash protection on. That's not because I am riding it. I don't think so. That's because this is heading over to their training school, ready for their learner riders. It was at Branson's that I learned how to ride, so I can absolutely vouch for the training you will receive there. Plus, you get to ride one of these. Awesome. Not only do they kit it out with some crash protection, they also give you heated grips. Hello, winter riding. So this bike has an on-the-road price of £6,902. As you'd expect from a model with this sort of engine, you're not getting many rider rates with it. But what you do get is a really comfortable and very user-friendly bike to ride. Now, it's no wonder that they use this to learn how to ride on. This bike is so forgiving. If you're in the wrong gear, it really doesn't tell you. It's not like any of the KTM range there when you're going around the corner in a wrong gear and all you hear is chugga 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 chugga. So what have we got then? Left to right, left, got your lights, top left, you've got your beam, indicators and horn. You also have your trip and info. There's not too much on the dash. For the moment showing air temperature. Go down, that'll be the bike temperature. There's your average miles per gallon. There's your current. And then trip 2, trip 1. You'll see this bike's only done 138 miles. On the dash itself then, got the time, got the fuel gauge, also got a gear indicator, which, I mean, I think it's pretty essential for a beginner if you ask me. Rev counter and your speedometer. And on the right, you've got your kill switch and engine start in the same button. And then you've got a little switch down here for your hazards. And that's it. How does she sound? So we got LEDs at the front. I have to admit, I didn't really like it when the new version came out. We've got this like circle light situation, little sphere at the front. Not a big fan of that. Indicators, what I like about these is they're kind of idiot proof. The idea was that if you got hit, they'd easily just come out and they wouldn't break, but unfortunately they do tend to pop out. There we go. As I said, this bike's heading over to the training school and has already been fitted out with some crash protection. You've got your R&G. You've also got Yamaha plastics as well. Got front and rear axle protection. And then there's the delightful crash bar at the front. Only extra fitted to this bike at the moment, other than the crash protection, is the heated grips, which, I mean, it's coming towards the end of October and I'm already starting to get pretty chilly out on the road. So this is a very welcome addition. And something you can expect if you go and learn at Branson's. Simple to operate. It's literally a push button and you go up in intensity. 5 red dots, burn your hands off. So this colour scheme is what they call the Storm Fluo. It also comes in that icon blue and the black, as you can see on the screen. So the seat height on the MT-07 is 805mm, which, bearing in mind I'm 5'5", puts me pretty much flat-footed on it. Bearing in mind my KTM 390 is 820mm seat height, and I'm on my tiptoes. You know, this is incredibly comfortable, coming to a standstill compared to that. So for the 2021 model, they increased the front brake disc just so you get the stopping power that you need. They brand this bike as having an assertive rider position based on the handlebars. They also say it's perfect for a larger rider. Now, Matt's been on it, and I mean, he's not the largest rider. He does find the bike comfortable. He obviously had an MT-10 before. The MT range seems to kind of suit his style of riding. You know, you're very upright. Your knees aren't too bent. We both feel like the foot pegs are a little bit further forward, which actually makes it a lot more comfortable rather than being right underneath you. Let's ride. Key start with the key above the dash. Not getting on with this, especially with the crash protection, makes it quite difficult to get to. But for a short rider, you have balance issues sometimes. Not very easy. So when I talk about this bike being user-friendly, what is it that I actually mean? Well, obviously, I say, you know, it's a simplified dash, not many controls, so from that perspective, I'm not faffing about with it. It is what it is, you get on and ride. But I think other user-friendly things about this bike are definitely the rider position. You know, this is a classic naked or hyper-naked design. I'm upright, I've got no pressure on my wrists, I've got no pressure on my knees because they're not too bent. My feet aren't under my arse because the pegs are too high. Add to that, the transition of power is just so smooth. I feel like I can accelerate from pretty much any gear and feel the change in the power. I don't feel like I need to be changing gear all the time, you know, regardless of whether I should be. On top of that, it isn't a small bike. You know, clearly there's the MT-09 and MT-10 above it, but by no means have they just shrunk it or, you know, anything like that. It's still a comfortable bike for a normal human being. A mixture of the weight of the bike, the upright position, and the handlebars just not being too far forward make this incredibly flickable. It feels kind of like a perfect bike for going around the twisties on A roads, B roads. Also, because of its power and because of its comfort, I don't mind sitting on the dual carriageway either. You know, there's no screen, but all that means is that the wind is kind of evenly spread across your torso, rather than focused at the top of your helmet or anything like that. Obviously, I've mentioned before my reservations of why, you know, I didn't want to go for a bike like this, or in fact this bike, as my first bike. And it was because it did feel almost too user-friendly. Felt like I wasn't going to improve as a rider because the bike pretty much rode itself. Equally, I knew back then that I wasn't going to use the full power. I was still learning. You pass your test, but you still need to get plenty of hours seat time under your belt. And now, a few months down the road, and now I've ridden plenty of other bikes, I kind of see the appeal of this bike. Should I have gone for it to begin with? Would I now be feeling the urge to change bike as I do with the 390? No, probably not. Okay, so one thing I do find you have to watch out for on this bike is it doesn't have a slipper clutch, and I'm kind of used to dropping a couple of gears and then coming to a standstill at once, and if you're not careful that does catch you off guard and back end goes out. I feel like you lose a little bit of balance, but just something to be mindful of. The other thing is the suspension. I feel everything on these roads. Everything. The mirrors, they're spot on. I can see plenty and they're not too vibey, just like the rest of the bikes, to be truthful. All in all, I haven't got many complaints. You can see why they sell so many of these. It is like the perfect all-rounder. So, as always, thank you very much for watching. This has been my review on the 2021 Yamaha NTO7. If you do like this content, please drop us a like, hit that subscribe button, and stay tuned for more content just like this. See you next time.